The mystical loss of a voice. Why did a beheaded spirit take revenge on an unfortunate woman? And what secret must she keep silent about? The answer will shock you. This is Psychic Investigations. There are only true and shocking stories here. People who call themselves clairvoyants take on investigations of high-profile criminal cases and unbelievable paranormal phenomena. This is Liubov Khyzhniak. She is 52 years old. Until recently, she worked as a saleswoman. Everyone knew her as a kind and honest woman and a friendly neighbor.
She has always been a friend, advisor, and good person to everyone.
The local choir has been Liubov's lifelong passion. She was its soloist, and her voice enchanted everyone. 2 years ago, however, something incredible happened. Liubov suddenly lost her ability to speak. One morning she called her daughter-in-law, but couldn't utter a word.
It was so terrifying.
What happened to Liubov's voice remains a mystery. She didn't experience any stress or trauma that could have caused this, and her family is certain that it's not an inherited condition either.
None of our grandparents or great-grandparents ever experienced anything like what she's going through now.
Liubov's worried family started searching for a cure desperately.
All those MRIs, CT scans, countless X-raying, and tests. We've ruled out everything.
Only during the examination at the Neurosurgical Institute did doctors conclude that Liubov's sudden loss of voice resembled the rare Lou Gehrig's disease.
It affects the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and cranial nerves, and it also disrupts the DNA. Currently, there's no definitive evidence of what causes this condition.
Usually, the disease causes muscle atrophy, limb paralysis, and loss of voice, as it happened to the world-renowned physicist Stephen Hawking. His condition developed at a young age, yet it didn't prevent him from achieving great heights in science. However, Liubov's case is different from what happened to the scientist. Doctors are surprised that she can walk normally and do chores on her own. The only thing she can't do is speak.
They diagnosed her, but they're not completely sure it is the case because the disease is extremely rare and not well researched.
Lou Gehrig's disease occurs in only 1 person per 100,000 worldwide. It's such a rare condition that no active research is being done on developing medications for it.
It's a tragedy. You could say it's a death sentence for the patient.
In Stephen Hawking's case, other scientists, who were his friends, created a speech synthesizer specifically for him, allowing him to communicate with others. That device is one of a kind, and acquiring a similar one is absolutely impossible.
She cries all the time. We feel so sorry for her. It's terrifying.
She became very vulnerable. She gets upset that we don't understand her. Our hearts ache for her.
Liubov understands that since there's no medication for her condition, it's highly unlikely she'll ever overcome it, and even the psychics can't return her voice. But she's still asking them to come, because she's convinced that an evil force took away her ability to speak. It all started a few years ago. One night, Liubov woke up to a strange rapping. The next moment, Liubov froze. She felt an invisible essence pass by her. After that, some malevolent entity settled in her house.
She called me and said, "Lyudmila, can you imagine? I heard a bang like something fell on the attic." She was alone in the house, which was completely silent, and then the door shut. But when she went out, there was no one there.
Liubov lives alone. She divorced her first husband when she was 23. Her second husband passed away 5 years ago. The year after that, her both sons got married and now live separately.
We live in the neighboring village, but we visit her more often now to help her.
We thought of bringing her to live with us, but she refuses because she thinks she'll be a burden.
Liubov feels touches, hears footsteps, and sees objects moving mysteriously in her home. Her family, friends, and neighbors also sense an invisible presence in her house.
She's not the only one who experiences this. Her friend visited, and they both heard the door shut. They checked, but there was no one in the corridor. We don't understand why this happened. For what reason? Taking away someone's ability to speak. Something so precious to her. Why would anybody need to do it? I don't know.
But Liubov's greatest fear is that her children and grandchildren could become the next victims of this malevolent entity. So, the psychics are her and her family's last hope.
We're really hoping the psychics will come and help us.
Our project's experts Yana Pasinkova and Olga Kalianova take on the case.
While I was working with Liubov's photo, I saw a couple holding hands. They walked along a narrow path strewn with coins. But suddenly, they found themselves at the edge of a large grave.
I dreamed of a beautiful young woman who kept repeating the same phrase. Release me, help me. I see her being burned alive.
It's awful. Seems like Inquisition.
I asked what it is. What kind of burning is that? The cards say it happened recently. It's a modern-day Inquisition.
Inquisition? What is the clairvoyant talking about? And what does it have to do with Liubov?
When I first saw Liubov's photo, I saw hands covering her mouth, choking her. Blood dripped onto those hands, and when I looked up, I saw a beheaded woman strangling Liubov. Yana, look around. I was shocked. A stray dog near the hotel held a doll's head in its mouth. Give it to me. A beheaded woman. She's the one we need to find. But who is she? We need to investigate on site.
Liubov is already waiting for the psychics. To support her, her daughter-in-law Natalia and cousin Lyudmila have arrived. They understand her better than anyone else, so they will assist the clairvoyants in communicating with her.
Hello?
Hello. As we entered Liubov's yard, near the gate, I thought I heard a female voice calling me, and my head felt like it was burning.
Liubov can't speak.
She used to be very sociable and had many friends, but now she's embarrassed that they don't understand her.
I see black marks left by someone's hands on your neck. They're traces of the evil entity that took your voice.
I feel being choked. Yes, yes, yes. I'm choking. Olga, what's the matter?
I saw a shadow over there. Can we enter the house?
Yes.
I saw a silhouette. It stood near the window and seemed to be watching us, but then it disappeared. It's a spirit. It roams your home, holding coins in its hands, and it scatters them. But why?
Who wishes you death? A A woman. She's strong. She interferes. And she does it like this. She's convinced you'll die. Oh. Hold on. Hold on. I need to get out of here.
Yana, what's wrong?
My head's burning. I heard a piercing female scream. Do you remember the dream I told you about this morning of a beautiful young woman being burned?
But how is that woman connected to Liubov?
She's asking for help. The first time I heard this voice was when we met Liubov at the gate of her house. I needed to return there.
I wanted to find out if the voice that Yana had heard and the shadow I'd seen in the house were the same entity or two different ones. I decided to go back into the house and perform a ritual to summon the spirit.
She's not alive? Who is she?
Is she a family?
She's from far away. She's not your relative. She's calling me somewhere. She lives in a white brick house. She's there. Does anyone live there?
They left.
The locals say that the house has been empty for several years now, and the people who used to rent it haven't lived here for over 5 years.
We bought a lock and locked it up.
Does anyone have keys to the house? There's a woman in here asking to be released. Her spirit is trapped somewhere, some kind of small enclosed space. She was murdered. She used to live in this house. She says, "I'm in flames. My head is burning."
She was burned here, in this house.
It's terrifying.
A man killed her.
Her husband killed her, and then burned her in the stove.
The village head explained that the last tenants were a young couple, Valery and his wife, Lilia. They moved here from a city and engaged in farming.
She was pregnant and birthed a girl.
But a few months after their daughter was born, Lilia suddenly disappeared. Valery claimed she had run away, leaving him with the infant.
He approached me and said, "She's having fun somewhere else."
The village head didn't believe him because Lilia seemed like a caring mother, so he immediately called the police. At the interrogation, Valery confessed that he'd killed his wife.
He hit her on the head with a pot. To conceal his crime, he put her body in the stove and burned it for 3 days.
I was about to start the ritual when suddenly I felt something pass through the room. There's a dead woman standing behind you. I don't understand if it's her spirit that I saw in the window, or perhaps it's someone else. Liubov, she's older than you. I see she has a problem with her throat. Like you, she can't speak. The woman holds a glass with liquid, and when she takes a sip, her body gets covered in awful black spots. She's your second husband's family. Could it be your mother-in-law? She committed suicide.
The woman's name was Uliana. In the year 2000, she died in her house, suffering greatly. According to the villagers, she ingested a lethal dose of acid.
When we arrived, she was already dying. She lay there, unable to speak.
Her husband abused her terribly. She took her life because she couldn't bear to live that way. But why does she come to you? She's trying to say something. Yura? Who is Yura?
Yura is Liubov's husband, that woman's son.
Lyudmila explained that Liubov met her second husband over 20 years ago. They were known as a loving and caring couple.
They loved each other. They started their life together when they were young, and their feelings were strong.
He's dead.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Yana Pasinkova is trying to understand why the spirit of Lilia, who was killed and burned by her own husband, called her.
She's told me, "Release me, my body is there," and pointed to the stove. Part of her remains were buried, yes, while the other part is still here. Because of this, she can't move on to the afterlife.
Not all the bones were taken away. Yes, that's right. She didn't have a proper burial with a priest.
I can calm her spirit temporarily, but in the future, you should call a priest to properly lay these remains to rest. Wait, Lilia's spirit is telling me something. You must find a woman with blood on her face. She was killed just like me.
Another murdered woman? But who is she? And how is it connected to Lyubov's mysterious loss of voice?
She's somehow connected to you, to your family, and your situation.
While Yana Pasinkova and Natalia are coming back, Olga Kalinova investigates why the spirit of Lyubov's mother-in-law is haunting her.
Liubov, are you unwell? Let's sit down. I see your husband. Inside him, everything seems to be entangled in a black web.
He had stomach cancer.
Cancer was the consequence, but the cause was magic. Wait! I sense that a woman's hand caused his death. Your mother-in-law says, "Forgive him, forgive my son for what he did. He cheated on you. He had an affair with another woman. Who is this woman? Do you know her? Your best friend?" I felt all of Lyubov's pain. She loved her husband desperately and supported him in everything, but he betrayed her and did it with her best friend.
Their families were close. The men worked together in the forestry. They always visited each other. And it happened that Yura started an affair with Nina.
Your mother-in-law is asking for forgiveness. She says Yura deeply regrets breaking your heart, and she thanks you for not leaving him when he was dying.
It turns out that when Yura's condition became serious, Lyubov was the only one who cared for him. He died in her arms. She didn't abandon her husband, even after he betrayed her.
The spirit of Lyubov's mother-in-law has nothing to do with her case, and the spirit I'd seen in the window was someone else's. But who was it?
Olga. We need to find a woman who is no longer alive. She's got blood on her face, but I don't know where to look for her.
She was just near your gate. She entered through that blue gate.
Hello.
I saw a woman's spirit in your yard, and we think it's somehow connected to Liubov.
It's a woman with blood on her face. She's being attacked and killed. She doesn't have a head.
Nina lived in this house. She died. Her husband severed her neck with an axe because he was jealous.
The murder occurred in the summer of 2013. The man killed his wife, striking her several times on the head and neck with an axe. As a result of the injuries, the woman died.
The beheaded woman strangles Liubov. She is the one who stole your voice. Wait. It's the same friend Yura betrayed you with.
Nina. She was murdered because of that affair.
Nina's husband murdered her due to her infidelity. He loved his wife deeply, and this was a devastating blow for him.
She wants to kill you. And it's not the first time. I see coins in her hands.
We did find the coins.
As it turned out, both Liubov and her husband frequently found coins in the house, but they never suspected that it was Nina who left them there.
The woman tried to kill her best friend to be with her husband.
After your husband took them in his hands, he died. In her pursuit of the man she loved, the woman simply killed him.
When Yura passed away, Nina said he wasn't supposed to die.
Because it was you. She cursed you while she was alive.
We did suspect she might have caused Liubov's troubles.
It turns out everybody in the village knew about Nina's involvement in magic.
Nina had a reputation for performing dark magic on others.
After the investigation, a local resident approached Yana Pasinkova and shared the following.
People said that it was Liubov who revealed Nina's affair to her husband, which led to Nina's murder. He killed her because of her infidelity.
We finally understood why Liubov lost her voice and why her rare condition developed differently than usual. Nina's spirit took her voice because Liubov exposed her unfaithfulness to her husband. You revealed my secret, so now be silent forever.
What do we do next?
Unfortunately, we can't turn back time. And we're not doctors, so we can't restore your voice. But we can neutralize the magical influence.
I'll give you my protective bracelet.
Hold these 9 consecrated candles. Light them at home every day. And keep the stubs. They'll serve as your talismans.
Thank you so much.
She needs attention and support from all of you. So please visit her more often. And Liubov, I want to tell you that life doesn't end here. You're a strong person, and you have wonderful children and grandchildren to live for.
A house of horrors. A woman caught a spirit trying to take her child to the other world on camera. Why is the poltergeist ravaging? The psychics are going to unveil the mystery hidden in a grave. A family is afraid to lose their long-expected daughter, Lisa, and is asking for our help. The parents are sure an otherworldly force is trying to kill the baby girl, as awful things have started happening to her recently.
I heard a massive rumble. I came and saw the lamp lying next to her. She was in a baby walker. I don't know how it didn't hit her head.
There was no chance the girl could reach the lamp in her baby walker. Strange though, but the heavy lamp seemed to have fallen itself.
This was so horrific.
Last month, out of a sudden, the heavy chest of drawers fell next to the baby girl. If she had been just a step closer, she could have died.
I checked it myself. It's extremely hard to overturn the chest. I can't even move it without help. This was the point where I started to feel genuinely frightened.
On top of that, the mother has been having the nightmare of the evil force taking away her daughter.
In the dream, there were arms stretching from the wall. They were huge, and they took Lisa.
And now, even when she's awake, the woman sometimes sees a man in the armchair next to the baby's playpen.
I was sitting on this couch, and I turned my head and saw a man sitting in the chair, gesturing to me to be quiet. I was paralyzed by horror and couldn't say anything. My throat got constricted, and all of my limbs were suddenly immobilized.
Olha films her daughter's every step for their family archive. And the thing she saw in the recent video stunned her numb. The camera caught some strange gray spheres next to the baby.
First, I thought it was probably a mouse running or something. What could be the explanation to it? This is the video that proves I'm not losing my mind and something's really going on here.
Why did we contact you? We'd like to know where it came from and how we can rid ourselves of it.
A gypsy clairvoyant, Rubina Tsibulska, and an Azerbaijani psychic, Kayal Alekperov, took up the investigation. Rubina is already in the village where Lisa's family lives. Kayal is supposed to arrive later. The girl's mom is waiting for the psychics, while her father is traveling on an urgent matter.
Hello.
Hello.
Give me your hand. You fear for the child a lot. The feeling is contagious. My heart is thumping now.
It's like something is trying to take her away.
I need to work with the girl.
Little Lisa is in her stroller in the yard. Her scared parents never leave her alone. Her Aunt Hannah, Olha's younger sister, is looking after her.
I'll need to perform a ritual to receive the information from her. The ritual isn't too powerful not to harm her.
That what matters most.
Let me charm the water. Now we need to put a little on our hands. Dear God.
What? What do you see there? I'm scared.
I see a cradle. It's her cradle. And in the cradle, there's a bottom. Something like a pit. It's deep. It's a grave.
Does the clairvoyant see the baby in the grave? But who's trying to take her to the netherworld? To find it out, Rubina goes to work inside the house.
Let's check the cards. A woman. She is the source of your daughter's problems, and she's from the world of the dead. This woman, she looks delirious. It's like she's partially mad.
My aunt committed suicide last summer.
Name?
Natalia.
I see a tunnel, and there's a scream echoing in it. What could the tunnel be? Is it a railway runnel?
It's a well. She jumped into the well. An artificial well looks like a long tube, a tunnel.
The woman jumped into the well in her yard only a few before she turned 60. It was Olha's birthday.
I needed to understand if Olha's aunt was harming the little Lisa. For it, I had to contact her, and I needed to do it through someone whose blood was closest to hers.
The deceased woman's sister, Olha's mother, and Lisa's grandmother lives in the neighboring village.
Hello, Mom, we need your help. She's coming.
Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov is already approaching.
I had a strange dream. It was about a woman. She was wet through. She looked up and said, "I didn't want to do it." And she asked to forgive her. I saw a children's room without walls. And a man was standing over the cradle. His feet were covered with roots growing from the underground. "Stop! There's a girl over there!"
The psychic stopped the van at a junction. Olha's house is nearby, around the bend. What worried him so much?
A little girl's spirit. She says she died on this junction. She says she was hit by a vehicle, and her mom saw it. "Why are you here?" She says, "I'm waiting for the girl from that house."
This is incredible, but that is the house in which the little Lisa and her parents live. Is the spirit from the junction that Kayal Alekperov sees waiting for her? Can the Lisa really die?
The girl says, "When it's completely dark, we can leave this world. This is it." She disappeared. Her words worried me a lot. A junction is a portal through which souls come and go to the netherworld. She is waiting here for another soul. We need to hurry. We can't wait.
In the meantime, Olha's mother meets Rubina Tsibulska.
I want to summon her to know if it's her spirit that's bothering the baby. Oh God, I feel her fear. It seems she's recoiling from you.
Her sons and husband forbade her to speak to me.
The deceased Natalia's husband and 2 sons didn't let her speak to her sister and elderly mother because the latter bequeathed her house to Yevgenia's family.
We used to be very close. We were an organic whole.
It was hard for Olha's aunt to bear the conflict between the families. Eventually, She developed a severe depression, which eventually led to her suicide.
She quarreled with her children. I feel like they tried to force her away from home.
Yes, not long before it happened, they decided to send her to an asylum. It was Thursday, and they were supposed to take her there on Friday. And so she jumped into the well on Thursday night.
This is so horrible. Let's summon her. Through fire. Natalia's spirit, reveal yourself. She won't answer. She refuses to appear. Just a sec. Kyle can help me. Let's ask him.
Hello.
Kyle, the cards showed me a woman. She's dead. And she's out of her mind. Olha claims this is her aunt. You see? I'd like to ask you to also check it and see why she won't answer our summons.
Give me your hand, please. I can't forget my dream. I saw a woman, she was wet all over, and she said, "Tell them to forgive me." I didn't want to do it. She says she loves you a lot, and she would never harm you or your children. And she didn't respond to you because she feared you wouldn't forgive her.
We forgave her long ago.
Olha's aunt had nothing to do with it. Probably, it wasn't even her in the cards. This meant there was another dead woman who was insane. I couldn't understand, though, who she was and what danger she posed to the girl.
On my way here, I saw a girl spirit. She was over there, on the junction not far from your house.
Our neighbor's daughter was hit by a bus.
She said she'd been with her mom.
She held her hand as they walked.
As it turned out, a bus ran over the 6-year-old daughter of Olha's neighbors. She ran to the road so suddenly that her mother couldn't stop her and prevent the disaster.
The girl's spirit told me she was waiting for some girl, and she pointed towards your house. She wants to take her to the netherworld with her.
It's just horrible.
And she said one more thing, that it will all happen when it's completely dark.
Kyle, what could this mean? What's she talking about?
What I can't understand is why she didn't simply say at night. In any case, Rubina, we don't have much time.
It's just horrible.
I need to see the baby.
Yes, let's go to see the girl.
The baby girl for whom her family is so concerned is sleeping peacefully in her room.
I felt the girl had been a step from death several times, but something saved and protected her. There are otherworldly forces in this house. The meeting with us can activate them, so it's dangerous for the child to be here.
The scared Olha calls a taxi and asks her sister to take Lisa with her.
I'll work in your daughter's room.
Wait, I hear something. Can you hear it?
Yes, it's like a baby babbling.
Yes, like a baby.
It's weird, but the noise comes from Lisa's room, from under her bed. Everyone who is inside hears it.
Yes, I also heard a baby babbling.
Just a moment. Hush. Hush. Wait. Oh, God.
A black cat. God, such a huge black cat.
My God. My God.
Can I go out? My goodness, what is it doing in the house? God.
God under Lisa's bed.
God, the huge black cat. How did it get in here? The door and the windows were closed.
Isn't it yours?
I don't have cats.
It's not our cat.
Drive it out. Make it leave, quick. But the place Cat chose worried me most of all. Why was it hiding under Lisa's bed?
I'm looking at the wall and see a man trying to go out of it.
Olha saw a man sitting in the armchair at night.
The man was sitting in the chair, showing me to be quiet.
I need to work in the room where you saw the man. We've got to hurry. It's getting dark. Do you remember what the girl from the junction said about darkness?
The thing Kayal Alekperov sees in this room makes him call everybody else immediately. It's incredible, but the chandelier is swinging like it's an earthquake.
What is it?
Oh my God, why is it swinging so much?
Has anybody hung themselves in this house?
Do you see the man here?
Yes, I do. He lived here long ago. The man was wealthy.
Yes, well-dressed. Whenever I see him, he's very well-dressed.
He wears spectacles. His handwriting is neat. I see him write something and then hang himself.
My God, it's terrible.
Is the man's spirit the otherworldly force that's attacking the house? But who is he? And why is the hunting the girl?
It's the man from my dream. Apart from your aunt, I also saw him. He was standing by the cradle in the children's room without walls.
He is the owner of the house.
When he was sitting in the chair, he was calm and confident, like he owned this place.
Was it here? On this spot?
Yes, it was here.
Was Lisa somewhere around?
Lisa was here in the playpen.
The house is quite old. It was built in the early 20th century.
The house is old and some rich landowner lived in it. His family name was similar to ours, Radzinski or Radwinski. He committed suicide.
I asked the spirit, "Why are you showing yourself to this woman? What do you want from her?" And he said he was helping to protect her daughter.
Is he protecting her?
The child was supposed to die twice when furniture fell on her. He says he prevented it. I saw that the man had a beautiful wife and a little daughter. But then something terrible happened. They both died from some awful illness. And the man, unable to bear the grief, hung himself on the chandelier in the house. Now his spirit is helping the little Lisa to oppose the evil force because she reminds him of his daughter. If you like, I can help you get rid of the spirit. But he says it will harm you because he's on your side.
Let him stay, I don't mind. But then again, what do the arms stretching from the wall mean?
He wanted to show where the danger to your daughter comes from. Therefore, we have to search Lisa's room.
The cat wasn't there for no reason.
The cat seems to be connected to this place somehow, and the fact that it suddenly appeared in the closed room gives me an idea that it wasn't a cat at all.
I'm being led there. Move it further. Move it further. My God, I feel emptiness. It's a pit. A bottom inside the cradle. Like a pit. A pit. A child is buried here. It's a child's grave.
This room was added later to the old house.
I feel the energy of a cemetery.
I see a woman, she's pregnant, it's her third or fourth child because I see many children around her. She kills her baby. She drinks something. It's some sort of poison.
I see the woman give birth to a dead baby. It's a girl. And it seems she buried her right here.
I know what they're talking about.
Really?
In that old part of the house, a woman lived, and she indeed had many children, but she drank heavily, and she didn't give birth to them. Instead, she performed abortions herself and buried them.
She killed the baby at the final stages of her pregnancy. It was an almost formed human being who had a soul. This room was added to the house later. This killed baby's grave was disturbed during its construction, and so her spirit woke up.
And when you installed the cradle over the grave, you reinforced the connection with the dead baby.
I didn't know about it.
And she's been trying to take her away.
This house is full of ghosts.
Then I finally realized what the cat was. It was the spirit of that poor, buried baby girl. She was sitting over her grave under the little Lisa's bed. The flying gray spheres were also her spirit, as spirits can assume different shapes.
I couldn't even think I was walking on the grave. This is horrifying.
It's unbelievable. The light went off in the house.
What is it?
The light's off.
Here it goes.
This is it, the complete darkness. Rubina, this is what the girl from the junction told me. She says, I'm waiting for the girl. When it's completely dark, her soul will appear.
My God.
When the light went off and the darkness shrouded us, it was the sign that the portal on the junction was open. We need to pacify the buried girl's spirit, so she won't pose danger to your daughter, and we also need to put a protection spell on your family.
We've got to hurry to let her spirit go before the portal closes. Her soul's leaving. It's flying away.
May she forgive us. We didn't know.
Always keep this in your house. Take a piece of cloth, preferably green. Wrap it in it. It's your protective charm.
Now, when nothing threatens Lisa's life, the girl can come back home.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. I am really grateful to Rubina and Kayal. I appreciate what you did.
Several months after the investigation by the psychics, Olha called us to inform us that the things had returned to normal.
Nothing falls or collapses. Nothing like that happens anymore. Thank you so much.
This is beyond comprehension. The family almost lost their little girl because of something done by a perfect stranger. A horrendous triple murder and an aggressive poltergeist. Don't miss a shocking investigation by the psychics. A child's ghost will come to unveil all the mysteries. The psychics embark on an investigation into a series of enigmatic demises within a Ukrainian family. First, we received a letter from 34-year-old Serhiy Dehtiaryov. The man had had a dream of his deceased father, showing him 6 graves, one of which bore a plaque with Serhiy's name. He feared for his life and decided to ask us for help. But when our journalists called Serhiy, his sister Yulia picked up the phone and told them terrible news. Her brother was dead.
He was young. He never had any health problems. He simply fell while walking, and that was it.
One morning, Serhiy felt unwell on his way to work.
He fell and his partner, who was with him, raised him to his feet. But then he realized something was very wrong and started calling out. People came running and called an ambulance.
The man was dead a few minutes after. His heart stopped abruptly. His family can't understand how it was possible. Several days before his death, Serhiy had undergone a comprehensive medical examination because he'd been terrified by the nightmares about his death. The checkup revealed no indications that could pose a threat to his well-being. And now, Yulia is having the same nightmares that Serhiy had before he died.
I saw the 6 graves. I ran around the cemetery from one grave to another, and I had a panic attack.
In her nightmare, Serhiy was digging another grave next to his, and Yulia saw her own name on the tombstone.
He was standing and digging it, and I said, "Serhiy, what are you doing?" And he said, "Follow me."
Yulia Detiaryova is 32. She works at a grocery store, and she's raising her 7-year-old daughter, Alexandra, all by herself. The girl's father abandoned them long ago and doesn't care about his daughter. So if something happens to Yulia, there'll be nobody to care for the girl. And this is her greatest fear as a mother.
2 days ago, my daughter asked me, "Mom, what if you die?" She was sitting and crying.
The psychics are the woman's only hope. Our strongest clairvoyants, Kayal Alekperov and Rubina Tsibulska, agreed to help her.
I saw a room with fair walls, and in it, there were chairs arranged in a circle, and a boy was standing in the middle of the circle. He was pointing at the chairs and saying, "The one who sits down last will die."
My sacred book is speaking some riddles. The angel became the demon. When you find the grave, dig deeper. What could it mean?
Hello.
Hello.
I fear for my and my daughter's lives.
Did your brother live here?
Yes. He was my elder brother.
I feel that your brother's death wasn't an accident.
I felt your father. He felt cold and and the heart stopped, like he froze to death.
My father died walking home from work. He was found in a windbreak. He looked like he had frozen under a tree. I don't feel well.
Even though her father died many years ago, Yulia still finds it hard to speak of it. Her father, Ivan, was only 45. But to this day, Yulia can't understand how it happened. The temperatures in October weren't freezing, and her father was a healthy man in his prime.
Did you all live here? Rubina, I have a strong feeling this house is radiating negative energy. Have you ever found something strange on its grounds?
Yes, once.
Wait. Your father's spirit is pointing at this spot on the wall. Was there a door here? Was the thing you found hidden here?
Yes, there used to be a door here, and above the door there was a little wreath. It was made of flowers, but it had threads and needles inside.
I feel a tragedy occurred after it. You lost somebody else.
You lost a child.
And not one, but 2 children. They looked alike. Were they twins?
Yes, I lost them both.
You see your family in your dreams. They're trying to warn you about something, but I can't tell what it is.
Yulia, I'd like to go inside.
Yes.
The clairvoyant tunes into the energy of the house. Meanwhile, Kayal Alekperov continues working outside.
My book says you didn't find all the charms. There's a source of powerful negative energy nearby. It's somewhere here. Can you bring me a chair and a knife? It's dangerous to hold it with your bare hands. Look!
My God, what is this? A needle? I see a needle.
There are 3 of them.
What does it mean?
3 needles stand for 3 deaths. This is why your children died. And you could die too. This charm was planted on you to end your family life. But it's directed at you specifically, not your family. Can you please give me your hand? I see 2 women. They hide something in that wall and then run away quickly. They envied you for some reason. We must neutralize this negative energy as soon as possible.
Laughter. Laughter.
While I was carrying out the ritual, I had a feeling that something bad was happening to Rubina. It was like some supernatural force was influencing her. My colleague needed help, but I couldn't interrupt the ritual.
Coincidence or not, no sooner had the psychic finished the ritual to neutralize the charm than the clouds parted and the sun shone.
Khyal. I don't feel well.
What is this?
Like God.
What happened? Tell me.
First, I heard a child's laughter in this room. But when I approached the mirror, I heard sorrowful weeping. A child of 2 or 3 was crying bitterly, asking for help.
Yulia is indeed in grave danger. The answer is where the triangle of death is. It's a place where the mother died.
Yulia's mother's name was Natalia. After her husband died, she took her children and moved to a town. When Serhiy and Yulia grew up, they returned to the village and settled at their father's house. However, their mother stayed in the town.
Mom lived there during her final years.
We must go there.
But what death triangle does Khyal Alekperov see? And what does it have to do with Yulia and the deaths in her family? By the time the psychics arrive at the house of Yulia's mother, it's grown dark. The news of the psychic's arrival quickly spread among the locals. People who knew and loved Natalia gather around her yard.
The energy is so overwhelming.
Three people were murdered here. I feel 2 of them are your bloodline, unlike the third one.
Yes. I was here. They were all found in this room.
I see a large pool of blood here. It's huge.
This is where the triangle of death my book mentioned was. The triangle was made of your relatives' bodies.
Mom was lying here and the girl was a little further away, while my brother was here.
It's so awful. The people were drowning in blood.
Yes, I saw it all.
The tragic murder caused a stir throughout the nation. Yulia's mother, her younger brother, Oleksandr, who was 17, and his girlfriend, Dasha, were murdered in this house. The tragedy happened in the evening when the family was at home.
Natalia was on the bed. The shot hit her arm, and he murdered the children in the room.
While the murderer was reloading his rifle, the woman crawled up to the children, but unfortunately, she was too late to save them. The maniac shot his shotgun 9 times and escaped. The neighbor found the bodies the next morning and called the police.
When I broke down the door and saw it, my hair crawled on my head. Natalia was lying there and her arm looked like it had been chopped with an axe. And her son was opposite her, and he had this huge hole in his chest. It was a terrifying picture.
I feel your brother holding the girl by the hand.
She seems to be his fiancée.
They were buried as an engaged couple.
They loved each other a lot.
It was the first love for both, and it was very sincere.
They could have been saved.
Before he was shot to death, my brother called an ambulance and said they were wounded.
This is the recording of the wounded boy's call to the hospital. These are Yulia's brother's last words.
Hello, emergency medical service.
We're wounded.
What kind of the wound?
A gun wound. 37 First Vinohradna Street.
Wait a minute.
Please call the police.
Just a moment. Wait, please. The address again? First.
Alexander died a few minutes later. The phone operator who accepted the call is said to have resigned, unable to bear the shock. She simply couldn't go on working there.
I feel you. Two were supposed to be here.
I can't. It's actually true. I was sent on vacation.
Yulia was saved by a lucky coincidence. Back then, she lived in this house with her mother and brother. But just before the tragedy, she was sent on an unscheduled vacation, and so she took her daughter and went to the village.
The man who lived here murdered them.
The man lived with Natalia, and their relationship went sour. The victim told him he was a parasite in her family, and he got mad.
Yulia's mother had lived with her murderer for 8 years. Together, they were building a new house, and when Natalia was diagnosed with breast cancer, the man helped her beat it. On the surface, they gave the impression of a perfect family. Nobody knows what exactly happened to date. There was no alcohol in the murderer's blood. Nobody can understand what made him commit the awful crime.
A demon took possession of him.
I feel the murderer is in prison.
The man hid in his hometown for several days after the murder. When he was arrested, he explained that he'd done it because he'd felt humiliated.
I don't remember who exactly and how many times I shot. When I came to my senses, I saw the 3 bodies.
This is the reenactment of the murder. The cold-blooded murderer is crying.
Now I realize it, but then I didn't. I felt like in a fog. I didn't realize what I was doing. My brain wasn't working.
His guilt was proven and he was sentenced to life in prison.
But it didn't make Yulia feel any better. She lost all of her family, and now she's in danger herself.
Do you hear it? What is this? What is this?
A woman's spirit. This is your mother. She's holding a little boy in her arms, and he's holding a toy.
Khyal. This is the boy who played with me, showing me the chairs and saying, "The last one to sit down will die."
This boy was the angel who turned into the demon that took possession of the man. For some reason, he's avenging your family. But for what?
The cards are showing me how the boy died. He fell from a windowsill. His head cracked. Your mother felt guilty, but she held this secret to herself.
The only person who knew about it was your mother's friend.
Our journalists found the woman. Her name is Taisia. She kept her friend's secret for many years.
Oleksiy, Natalia's second son, died. It was before Yulia was born. He fell from the windowsill and hit his head on the radiator. There was a dislocation in his skull.
Yulia has never heard of this tragedy. Her parents didn't want to traumatize the other children, and so they never told them of the little Oleksiy's death.
We must find out why this little angel, your brother, turned into the demon, and why he's seeking revenge on your family.
What happened?
I heard someone knock on the window pane, and it cracked. But it seems intact.
He's giving us a sign.
Does the child want us to go somewhere? Do you remember the cue from my book? When you find the grave, dig deeper. We must find his grave fast.
I don't even know where it could be.
We must find it, or else the deaths won't stop.
The most interesting thing is that nobody knows where his grave is. Nobody ever visited the boy's grave at all.
The village has 2 cemeteries. One is old and the other is new. The latter appeared 10 years ago, so the psychics head for the old one.
Rubina, we must split and find the boy's grave. It's not it. Nor is this one.
Checking almost the entire cemetery took the psychics and crew a few hours. However, they failed to find where Yulia's little brother is buried.
I have a feeling of something calling me that way. This is your brother's spirit. Hurry up. That's it. The spirit has hidden.
Is he gone? We have to search.
He's a child, so he's playing with us. But I see him sitting on that grave.
Who is this?
Who is this man?
The boy's spirit says, I was buried here.
When I read the plaque on the tombstone, I couldn't understand anything. What did that adult man have to do with the little boy?
Rubina, do you remember my book told me to dig deeper when we find the grave? Your little brother's spirit is crying, saying it used to be his grave, but you didn't visit him, and you forgot him. And eventually, his grave was unearthed, and this man was buried in it.
If a grave has been neglected for, say, 20 years, and its wooden cross got rotten, but the plot remains, and they can bury someone else on top.
Your little brother's bones were ground with something made of steel, like a spade. And while they were doing it, his soul was suffering terribly. He hurt badly. This is when the angel became the demon.
And his anger hit Yulia's family like a landslide. He started taking revenge after that. And your father was taken away first.
Yes.
The following year.
The child's spirit is telling me he also had his revenge on the man who ground his bones with the spade.
He was hit by a car. I've worked here for 2 years, but it was before I came here. He told me he found the skull and crushed the bones.
What do I do?
You must never forget your brother.
Pray for him. Thus, your brother's soul will find peace, and he'll stop taking revenge. And we should also carry out the ritual.
To block the way and calm down his soul.
But the ritual isn't carried out at a cemetery. Let's go.
While the clairvoyants were searching for Yulia's brother's grave, people gathered in front of the cemetery gate.
Yulia, hold it.
We've prayed for you. Nothing's going to bother your family anymore.
Thank you so much. It was like a load off my shoulders. I couldn't even imagine I had a brother born before me, that he died so tragically, and above all, that he could do harm to my family, taking them away one by one.
The parents received text messages from their daughter, who had been in the morgue for several days. Who was texting from the deceased girl's phone? The ghost of the girl will reveal the truth and unmask her murderer. In this episode, the clairvoyants will try to find out what happened to Victoria Mankiewicz, a 30-year-old beauty, a translator, and a Sorbonne graduate. The woman was found dead in one of Kyiv's residential neighborhoods. The police investigators claim she jumped from the high floor of a high-riser. However, Victoria's mother and other members of her family are certain she was murdered.
Victoria's body was found here. It's a high-riser. She lived a kilometer away from it. Over here in another high-riser. If it was suicide, then why didn't she jump from the top of the building she lived in?
How and why Victoria ended up there is still a mystery, and it's truly shocking.
I received a text from her. "Hi, Mom, I'm fine." However, she was already at the morgue when it happened. How is this even possible?
Victoria's body was taken to the morgue on April 13th, but on the 15th, her friends and mother received text messages from her.
I dialed her, trying to get through to her for a long time, but then a reply came. "I feel really unwell. I won't be able to access the communications during the weekend. I'll call you on Monday."
We went to search for her on the 21st. She was supposed to be buried on the 22nd as an unidentified body.
Victoria didn't have her ID or phone with her. If she had been buried as a homeless person, nobody would have found any trace of her.
I made the final attempt to contact her on the 19th of April. I heard a tone. That is, her phone was still charged and working.
Only on the 9th day, when Victoria's phone went silent, her family went to the police.
Victoria's father lives in Rivne, while her mother lives in Italy, so her cousin was the one who notified the police of her disappearance.
They called me from the police and told me there was an unidentified woman at the morgue, and described her.
From the description of the tattoo and clothes, I immediately knew it was her.
They wanted to close the case, claiming it was suicide, but it couldn't be suicide.
We examined the body and found no other injuries, other than those caused by the fall from a great height.
A motive is required for both suicide and homicide. Victoria had none. She was successful in her career. She worked as a translator at a large international company, lived with a man she loved, and most importantly, she was planning to marry him and have children.
She could be my wife and the mother of my child.
This man, Victoria's beloved man, is Alexei Volkov, a famous Kyiv fitness coach. The couple had lived together for about a year.
We planned to have a baby. She wanted a boy, while I wanted a girl.
They had plans for the future. They thought of the names in case they'd have a girl or a boy. Beyond doubt, it couldn't be suicide.
I was in Prague when I learned of her death. Can you imagine how anxious I felt, being all alone abroad? I'm ready to sacrifice all my resources to find who did it.
Dear psychics, I beg you to help me. Who and why killed my daughter?
The best experts undertook the case: a Ukrainian clairvoyant, Jana Shulakova, and a British spiritual medium, Anna Galliers. The psychics are already listening to the woman's final audio record, a voice message she sent to her mother several days before she died.
Hi, Mom. I'm going to come to Rivne for about 2 days to visit Grandma. I hope you're doing well. Kiss you.
It doesn't sound like a message from someone who is going to kill themselves.
I see a young woman in a room. There's a man standing next to her. He punctures her body with a needle, and I feel the scent of medicine. He's related to her death. Then he could be a doctor. He's strong and authoritative. Victoria isn't his first victim.
It's strange. I saw her on a high-riser's balcony with another young woman. They're of the same age, and they even look somewhat alike. We need to find out who wrote the text on behalf of Victoria. I feel that her phone is still in the hands of that person.
Victoria's parents and relatives are already waiting for the clairvoyance in the courtyard where her body was found.
We think she was murdered and then brought here.
Your daughter is so delicate on the outside, but she's got a character of a strong man.
Yes, it's true, if she was highly determined.
Victoria's childhood ended when she was 15 years old, following the divorce of her parents. Her mother went to work in Italy, and she stayed with her father, an ex-military officer.
She studied Slavic studies at the local university here in Rivne. She made her living by writing course papers for money at nights.
Later, as part of a student exchange program, Victoria went to France. This provided her with the opportunity to enter the Faculty of Arts and Humanities at Sorbonne University.
Who is Irina?
It's me.
Irina is Victoria's aunt and her closest relative after her parents. It was she who went to the morgue for the identification.
She bears a grudge against you. You saw something that could change the course of the investigation dramatically, but you didn't pay much attention to it.
A bruise and punctures. There were 3 dots like punctures, and a bruise like the one you have after an injection in the vein. She had the same.
I feel there was some substance in Victoria's body that made her feel disoriented.
Could somebody give her an injection of something?
Did they conduct a chemical examination at the police station?
The investigator didn't even view her case as something other than suicide, and so she didn't order any extra examinations.
Your daughter's spirit says we need to go upstairs to the balcony out of which she fell. What floor did she fall from?
We don't know.
Come quick. Victoria's spirit will show us.
The clairvoyants ended up at the 13th floor.
She says it's here. Your daughter says she was here. Victoria was here.
I had a feeling that she was around us.
And in my vision, I saw another young woman next to her. Your daughter says she left you some sign. Look.
Ola.
Ola.
It turned out that the name of the young woman from my vision was Ola. She was very beautiful, dark-haired and fair-eyed.
We don't know who it could be. Could this Ola be texting you from her phone?
Who sent those texts? It wasn't a woman. A man wrote those texts.
This man has something to do with the woman that I saw on the balcony. Victoria's spirit says we must find her phone.
Do you know where to go?
The spirit will lead us.
I'll stay here to try to find out what to do about this Ola. I'll call you later.
Anna Galliers goes where she feels led.
The spirit shows me a colorful wall of a building. The picture is made up of little squares.
Is it a mosaic wall or what?
Yes, and there are flowers in the picture.
Zhana Shulakova stayed to work with her pendulum in the map of Kyiv.
My pendulum is showing 2 spots in different ends of the city. Let's go where it's closer. The picture matches the trees, tall enough but with cropped tops. And the building, a high-riser. There are plenty of lilies around it. Pull over here. I'd better get off and walk. There are the lilies.
The clairvoyant has found one spot, but where should she look for Ola?
If the women were friends, they could go to visit each other. The residents of the building could see Victoria.
In the courtyard, the residents approach the crew. One of them knows a young woman named Ola. She says she's a lot like the one in the photo.
She wasn't tall. Her height was quite average. She was dark-haired and very calm.
You're speaking of Ola in the past tense. Did she die?
It turns out that Ola died 4 years ago, a lot earlier than Victoria did.
Victoria and Ola were similar in many ways. Both of them were successful, educated, and beautiful young women. They were somehow connected. But how?
Ola used to be the branch manager of one of the Kyiv banks. 6 months before she died, she received an invitation to work abroad.
My daughter was offered a contract in Austria. In mid-December, she called me and said she was going to Kyiv on business for a few days, and since it was a Christmas season, she was going to stay and celebrate the New Year.
But the morning after she arrived in Kyiv, Ola died.
Early in the morning, my wife received a call informing her that our daughter had been found dead under her apartment's windows.
Ola's death became a shock not only for her parents, but also for her boyfriend. We were quite surprised to learn that in the last year of her life, Ola dated Alexei, the same man Victoria began to live with later. In the meantime, the feeling brought Anna Galliers to the building with the mosaics she saw in her vision.
We're almost there. Victoria says there are texts with threats on her phone. They were sent by a woman with a child who lives in the first apartment.
Katerina lives in it. She has a son, Alexei.
Who is this Katerina? And why did she threaten Victoria?
Victoria's spirit says her friends know about the threats.
Our expert spoke to Victoria's friends. She discovered that Katerina was Alexei Volkov's other girlfriend.
This ex tried to return him. She occasionally reminded him of herself, trying to convince him to leave Victoria and come back to her, and so on. She also threatened Victoria personally.
Katerina started showing up with scandals. She beat on the door shouting, "Who is that bitch? Get her out of here. I'll be waiting for her outside, and when I see her, I'll tear her hair off." I understood that she lived nearby. Nobody knows what a woman who is in love and has a wild imagination can do.
Did Katerina really get rid of her rival? Was she also involved in Ola's death?
Your daughter's spirit mentions Alexei. He didn't break up with that woman. He cheated on your daughter, and she learned about it.
She never told me anything about it.
There was a scandal, and the man beat your daughter.
They quarreled once when they were sitting in the car. I don't know the reason behind the argument, but he hit her in the jaw with his elbow.
Does this mean that Victoria and Alexei's relationship wasn't ideal?
Victoria says it's time that we know that on the night of her death, she was with Alexei.
But wasn't Alexei supposedly abroad when Victoria died? However, it turned out that he was the last person to see Victoria alive. It was in the apartment in which they lived together. Only later on did he go abroad.
The door was closed. I was taking a shower. She was walking around the apartment, dressing, and then she said she wanted to walk and was going to a store.
The man says he didn't see his girlfriend after that. He thought she probably went to visit somebody, so he went on his strip.
I managed to find several more of Alexei Volkov's girlfriends. One of them, Tetiana, was the daughter of people who are very well known in Rivne. 16 years ago, she was found dead next to a high-riser, just like Ola and Victoria.
It's spine-chilling. How could it be possible that 3 young women related to the same man died in a similar way? Our expert has found 2 more women who used to date Alexei. Fortunately, they're both alive. Marina from Kyiv told her that after she refused to have a relationship with the man, somebody poured a bucket of paint over her car. The security cameras caught him. The man who did it arrived in a car that looked like Alexei's a lot.
He was waiting for the man who poured the paint, and then they left together.
However, it's impossible to wrap your head around the story that another of Alexei Volkov's girlfriends told us.
Good afternoon.
Hello?
Asya met him in 2013, not long after Ola's death. She says that at the beginning of the relationship, the man behaved like a gentleman. But a year later, he turned into a beast, and full of jealousy, he once almost beat her to death.
He opened the door, telling me to get out. I started moving, and then there was immediately a punch of a fist in my nose. I fell and saw blood, and I remember the click. I realized my nose was broken. There was such aggression in his eyes that I understood he could kill me. He was insane, like a maniac who came to kill me.
This nightmare took place at a waste ground in Kyiv's suburb. The woman says she was only saved by drivers that were passing by. After that, Asya told Alexei she was breaking up with him.
He threatened to pay a homeless man to pour acid over me or my child, or that I would be raped, while he would be somewhere else to have an alibi. The first thing he did was warn me not to go to the police, saying he had many friends in various spheres, including the police and criminals.
Because of the man's threats, the poor woman was afraid to go outside.
I told my friends and colleagues that if I fell out of the window, they would need to go to the police immediately, because I know suicide is a sin, and I would never do it to myself.
Victoria's spirit says the man was very cruel, so she couldn't find the courage to leave him. She feared.
It turned out that Ola, one of Alexei's ex-girlfriends, was also going to leave him not long before she died.
She was going to leave him, like Victoria. We called him. He told us that they quarreled, and Ola took a taxi and left his place at about 11 in the evening.
And the next morning, concierge who was on duty found Ola's body.
I feel there was some substance in Victoria's body that made her feel disoriented.
This is precisely what Marina felt after Alexei gave her a strange chocolate candy.
He pumped me with drugs. He said his friends brought delicious chocolates from Switzerland.
The woman says that after that, she experienced memory loss. Then she woke up in Alexei's apartment.
I found myself in his apartment, partly undressed. He grabbed me by my hands and threw me on the couch. Then he climbed on top of me and pressed his arm to my throat. He was like a werewolf that turned into a monster.
But if Alexei gave Marina drugs disguised as a chocolate, he could do the same to Victoria on the day of her death.
He is the doctor who gave her the injections.
Katerina Malachenko found the information that Alexei Volkov is a venereologist by education. He himself gave Victoria the injections that her doctors prescribed her.
Victoria says it was Alexei who sent you the messages after your daughter was dead. He has her phone now.
It turns out that Alexei hasn't returned Victoria's possessions to her family. The psychics decided to speak to the investigator who wanted to close the case as suicide.
If we managed to find the information on Alexei's background, why didn't you check him?
What do you mean? We did check him.
All the women died in the same manner. They were all wealthy and confident, and all of them were in relationships with Alexei. It's impossible that all of these were coincidences.
The clairvoyants in Victoria's family went to Alexei's apartment. Nobody answered the door.
We'll dial him and try to speak to him. Hello, is this Alexei? Tell us please, where are you? In Kyiv? Could we meet and talk? So, you mind? Why haven't you returned her belongings to her mother?
I'm not trying to hide those things.
Can I give the phone to her mother, please?
No.
Tell him to come over here, please.
So, you're quite willing to communicate through the investigator, aren't you?
The family is waiting. They want to see you and have her things back. Are you coming?
We must grab him by the scruff and take here forcefully.
So you are currently in Zhytomyr, am I right?
He said he was in Kyiv 5 minutes ago, but now he claims he's in Zhytomyr.
I feel that among Victoria's possessions that Alexei is keeping, there is her phone. The man used it to send her friends and family messages after she died.
This is all we can do here. We did everything we could in this situation.
Thank you.
Be brave. Be brave and finish what you've started.
Yes, thank you so much.
Sometime after the psychic's investigation, Alexei Volkov was sentenced to jail. He was arrested during an attempt to murder his next girlfriend. We hope he will never hurt anyone else.